Hi there and welcome to another video. I know it's not long after I uploaded my last video, but I had a bit of spare time this morning, Monday morning, so I thought for a change I would jump on early into one of the daily races just to see how it was shaping up. And I had time to do a daily race B. I didn't have time to do a daily race C, but I thought daily race B, a popular race, Group 4, Red Bull Ring, should be competitive all week, and I thought let's have a look and give everybody the chance to see the race early in the week to see what it's like out there. Is there carnage? Is what we're all really wanting to know. So as you can see, it's a bit of an RCZ Cup. The guy behind me is using an Audi TT. He's remaining loyal even though it got nerfed a little bit, but there were a couple of other cars, and I noticed somebody using the Jaguar, but generally speaking it was RCZs. But yeah, as we get the race underway, you can see I qualified in P2. The guy in P1 was in the top 10, he had a 0.5, and I had a 0.9, so I wasn't far outside the top 10. In fact, my Opti would have maybe sneaked me into it at this early stage of the week, but I was happy to get P2 and thought, well, it'll give me an idea how the race will be without hopefully too much carnage. But if you hang on to the end of the video, I will show you that there is indeed some things to look out for in this race in particular. It's the usual Red Bull Ring. There is a bit of an element of dive bombing, and without the penalty system, it can be dangerous. So yeah, take your chances with this race. If you can keep it clean, then great. If you're going to be mid-pack, it can be dangerous. But as you can see, early race, I'm managing to hang on to the slipstream just of the Spaniard. It was very, very quick, to be honest with you. Diego Sanchez, like I said, he was in the top 10 quite comfortably at this point with his lap time. So I think he was probably quite confident of getting the win, given that the P2 player was, nearly half a second slower than him in quali. But yeah, this race is got its moments because we all know about Red Bull Ring in terms of the track limits. Now, the track limits are absolutely critical to this race. If you can avoid track limit penalties, then you're onto a winner. And as you can see there, P1 just drifted a little bit wide, and will he get a penalty for it? Yes, he does. Half a second penalty, and that's the danger. If you're in the lead going round that corner, you don't really have much of a reference point, especially if it's early on in the week. It's so easy just to stick both the right hand tyres just across the line and you pick up that 0.5 second penalty. Now, luckily for me, we were still well within a second of him, so the 0.5 second penalty is going to help us out. We stay behind the slipstream as long as we can before moving out and going for the overtake. Now, this put me into slightly uncharted territory because I hadn't planned on leading the race. So yeah, I hadn't done many laps without the use of a ghost. Again, something very important. If you're going to really hammer your qualifying times using a ghost, make sure that you then hammer your times without a ghost and try and get as close to that quality time as you can. I usually do that and usually try and get my non-ghosted practice within a second at least of my quality time, because then I know that in the race, if I end up in a situation like this, I'll be fairly confident of hitting my braking points and not needing the crutch of the ghost in front. So we've managed to fend off the Spaniard in P2 temporarily, but I can see him in my radar. I know he's quick, I know he's going to challenge, and it's whether or not he's going to go for the move. Is he going to? No, he's not. He's going to give me a little bump, which is fine, but then we come round and I had the same problem that he had in the previous lap. I had no reference point. I wasn't really that sure. I was braking without slipstream, and just stuck two tyres over the right hand side, and I pick up the half a second penalty this time. Unfortunately for me, he also gets the overtake, so it's going to be much more of a blow to my race than his race, the fact that we have picked up that. And also, I'm aware that the cars behind, the race has probably settled down a bit, and yeah, you can see a couple of penalties getting served, probably track limit penalties, and you can see the delta coming right down now between me and the Rick Moto GP behind. So yeah, very, very aware now that I'm in a race with the racers behind me, as opposed to the guy in front who's now pulling away quite comfortably, heading up towards a sort of 1.8 second gap, and I've got just over a second to the cars behind. So I'm certainly now at this point more aware of the cars behind than I am of trying to catch the car in front. So coming round this last sector, again, doesn't matter what group it's in, you really need to get those two right hand tyres onto this curb to try and hook it round, because if you don't, it's so easy to slip wide and you will pick up a penalty. And the thing about picking up a penalty through the final sector of this race is it's generally not just a half-second penalty, you'll generally pick up a 1 second penalty, which is a lot more harsh and a lot more damaging to your race. As we head up to turn 1, again, it's really important to be on the cautious side, I would say, getting into turn 1. If you've got the space behind you to not have to push it, then I would suggest err on the side of caution. It's not worth picking up the penalty. Just keep your car well within the track limits, like I've done there. In fact, we go purple through the first sector, so it was a pretty good first sector. And getting out of this turn here, if you're in the RCZ, it's a quick shift up to second gear after you can round that hairpin, because wheel spin is the killer of the RCZ. If you can avoid wheel spin, then you will pick up tenths here and there, especially into this corner here. Slowing it all the way down to second gear, and you can see you've got to be progressive with the acceleration, because again, wheel spin, it's going to kill you. And the thing about the RCZ is it's so easy just to put the foot to the floor and rev it out, but there is that small fraction where you just go smoothly onto the accelerator, and if you do that, then you will find the benefit of it, because it does respond well to a smooth acceleration before you get to the top of the rev range. So here we go again, into the final turn. Now we have gapped the guys behind there, fighting again, I presume, over 2 seconds of a gap there, but we're well behind, we're over 2 seconds behind P1. And if we come down the final sector again, nothing too damaging there, but look up ahead, he's picked up a penalty, and it's not just a half-second penalty, it's a 1 second penalty. Now that is absolutely critical, and you can see he also lost time. He must have basically knew he was running wide and desperately tried to save it, so he also lost the time trying to save the corner, and as well as picking up the 1 second penalty. He would have been as well just committing to it and just accepting the 1 second penalty, because what we're going to see now is I'm just over, I'm 1.2 seconds behind. I went purple through the first sector. I've nailed the hairpin, and we are now heading towards the penalty zone where he's going to pick up his 1 second penalty, and this time, as you can see, we go past him with ease this time. Now, the thing about picking up the 1 second penalty is if you're the person who's picked the penalty up, you're now heading down to this corner at a completely different speed than you've been used to, and it's very hard to then hit your braking point and get out the corner quickly. And as you can see how far ahead now I am, I'm over a second clear of the Spaniard. So it's really just a case now of me keeping it sensible, don't pick up anything, don't do anything stupid. Again, I immediately become uncomfortable in the lead in situations like this where I haven't had a lot of race time on the track, and I'm aware that I could easily make a mistake because he's going to come back at me pretty fast. But again, this corner here, you can see I get my 2 tyres nicely onto the curb, bring the car around, and then drop it down into third, cut a bit the corner, accelerate out, shift up to fourth, and we go across the line and pick up the race win. So we're 100% for wins in race B this time, and it was actually a pretty quick lap I did in the end as well, with my best lap time of the race, just outside the fastest lap of the race. So yeah, that was pretty good. But what you will see then after the race finishes, we're going to go into the lobby. Now you're going to see a lot of comments flying about the lobby. So again, I have to say I do like sitting about in the lobby watching the comments fly. You know, I'm not going to lie, it could be quite enjoyable at times just watching people have those arguments. I'm never one for quickly leaving a lobby before making sure that the comments aren't flying. I like to sit about for maybe 30 seconds to see if anybody's wait for all the little pencils to start writing, and then wait and see if we've got anything other than the generic messages. And as you can see, I quickly thank the guy behind me. I don't think he was too happy about losing the race. He quickly leaves, but you can see right away the Italian FRT, lol, he is not happy. He's saying, what is wrong with you? We've got the word idiot flying about there, some foreign language which I don't quite know, Spanish I presume, given there's a Spaniard there. And we've got karma for somebody, stupid for somebody else. People want to race here. So the Italian's really not happy. Rick MotoGP seemed to be the butt of a lot of it. So yeah, and we also had the German PGM PG Motorsport. I see his races a lot on YouTube, so I think maybe he was filming for it, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can see stupid idiot, you're stupid, all of that flying about, so you can understand that it is, it can be quite a tetchy race. So I think what you need to do in this race is really just be careful that you're going to have to watch out for the key points which are heading down into the hairpin. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly jump into the replay, so bear with me while I load that up. I've not had time to do a major edit on this video for obvious reasons, didn't have a lot of time. So yeah, while the video is loading up, I would quite like to say thanks for watching the video as always. If you haven't subscribed, then please do so. It is very much appreciated. Every subscription is gratefully received. And if you're free on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do tend to live stream quite regularly at the moment. So jump into the live stream, race with us, chat with us, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the replay will show you and hopefully help you avoid what I'm talking about here, because Red Bull Ring, as good a track as it is and as enjoyable a track as it can be, it is fraught with danger. So rather than look at it from my point of view, we'll head back to Rick MotoGP's point of view, as he seemed to be taking a little bit of flack from some of the racers in front. But I just want to quickly show you, actually, it's really just the first couple of turns, because heading down into here, everybody's obviously had a rolling start, trying to find their braking points, just got to be careful, which everybody seems to have done successfully. But here lies the problem, heading down into this braking zone. Now, I was lucky, me and the Spaniard, we broke the slipstream, and you can see we've got a sort of decent gap, so we're safe. But you can see people are going to go into this 3 wide, 4 wide, up the insides, forcing people out wide, all sorts of carnage there. And then it doesn't just stop there though, because we then have the run down, and you can see the Italian, he went very wide there, so I don't know if he thought Rick was something to do with it, I don't know, but that's maybe why he was very angry. But you can see the 2 RCZs there ploughing into the innocent victim on the outside there, with cars going off left and right. So yeah, be very, very, very careful out there if you plan on doing this race. It is fun, it can be competitive, as all Group 4 races tend to be, but it can also be very dangerous. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.